5 questions you must never answer. There is one mistake that causes most men to spend their entire lives being led by the nose. They think manipulation is something obvious, a clear betrayal, an exposed attack, an enemy standing in front of them. A. Stab in the back deep enough for the blood to spill outside where everyone can see. But power is rarely stolen by force. Power is usually taken through words, through questions that sound very kind, very normal, very human. They carry no smell of threat, no shape of war, no growl warning you that you are about to lose your position. And, precisely because they are so normal, you answer without realizing. You just handed over data, just signed an agreement, just lowered your position, just opened the door. Machiavelli did not look at human beings through the dream of morality. He looked at them as they really are, driven by emotion, bought by impression, controlled by perception, and always alert to whatever can be extracted from you. In that world, the ones who collapse do not collapse because they lack talent. They collapse because they leak too much. A leak of time, a leak of self-respect, a leak of information, a leak of credibility, a leak of the right to resist, a leak of the ability to remain intact under social pressure. And there is one kind of leak, more subtle than all the rest. Leaking through questions. Not questions asked to understand you, questions asked to take something from you. The inexperienced always think that every question is a sign of goodwill. But no, some questions are not asked to hear the answer. They are asked to measure how soft you are, to test how far you resist, to see which door opens with a smile, which door opens through guilt, which door opens through the need to be thought well of by others. If you want to live heavier, firmer, harder to use, you must learn one cold principle. Not every question deserves an answer. And if you truly want to change, remember this from the beginning. Do not tell anyone. Do not announce that you are going to become wiser. Do not write some dramatic oath. Do not turn growth into a performance. Just be silent and start sealing the leaks. Because power does not always come from what you gain. Many times, it comes from what you stop giving away. Pause for a second and look back at your life. How many times did you become weaker, not because you were defeated, but because you handed people exactly what they needed to control you? How many times did a conversation feel completely normal, and yet, when it ended, it felt like something had just been taken from you? Not money, not material things. Wait, that is the sign that your power was just drained through language. There are 5 particular questions. They are not loud. They do not sound like interrogation. They are often asked in a warm tone, with a smile, with friendliness, with the voice of someone who seems to have nothing to be cautious about. But their function is the same: to soften you at the exact right moment, so the questioner can cross the boundary without having to fight. The 5th question is the root. It is the heart pumping blood to the other 4. If you do not answer the 5th question, most of the other traps lose their force. But to understand why, you have to see the first 4. Let's begin. Number 1. You don't mind, do you? The trap of asking permission afterward. You will hear this at work, in family, in friendship, in love. In every system where people want to take something from you without paying for it. The way it works is always the same. They do first, then they ask later. They make the decision without asking you. They cross the boundary. They use your time. They use your name. They promise on your behalf. They schedule on your behalf. They accept on your behalf. They tell your story to other people. They turn your silence into permission. Then, when everything is already done, they look back at you and say, "You don't mind, do you? You're okay with it, right? It's fine, right? It's no big deal. We're a team, right? We're family. Do we really have to make this tense? This is not a question. This is a notice disguised in order to force your signature. What makes it dangerous is not the content, it is the timing. Because they do not ask when you still have the right to refuse. They ask when the cost of refusing has already been pushed very high. If you say, "Yes, I do mind," you are immediately framed as difficult, petty, uncooperative, ungrateful, overreacting, making things complicated. And most men hate being seen as the problem. They hate making the atmosphere tense. They hate the feeling that they are the one ruining the harmony. So they choose smoothness, and they say, "It's fine." But you need to understand the strategic consequence of those two words. When you agree after being violated, you legitimize the violation. You turn an incident into a precedent. You teach people that they can take first, then ask for the signature later. You teach them that your boundary is not a wall. It is only a curtain. Push lightly, and it opens. Next time they will take more, because they have already seen the ceiling of your tolerance rise. The Roman Empire did not fall in one day because of a single blow. It weakened gradually when boundaries that had once been sacred were repeatedly violated, then treated as normal. Every time a standard was pushed back a little without a strong enough response, the system learned one dangerous lesson. It can go farther. Your personal life works the same way. A coworker casually assumes you will handle extra work. A relative casually borrows your credibility to promise something to someone else. A friend casually drags you into a meeting you never wanted to attend. A lover reads your messages, then asks, "I just looked a little. You don't mind, do you?" If you answer, "It's fine," you are not just permitting what just happened. You are preparing the ground for what comes next. Machiavelli understood that appearance matters more than truth. People believe what they consent, and the phrase "it's fine" creates the appearance of consent. So when one day you react, all they have to say is, "But last time you said you were okay with it." You didn't say anything that day? If you really hated it, why didn't you say so then? You do not just lose one evening. You do not just lose one decision. You lose the right to say no in the future. You have signed a contract you never even read. A great many people are not oppressed by others because they are weak. They are oppressed because they have created a history of allowing it. The other person does not always need to break you. They only need to notice that you will swallow it. That is enough. In history, many humiliating treaties were not born from absolute military defeat. They were born from a chain of small concessions signed in the name of preserving short-term peace. But concessions without principle do not buy peace. They only buy greater boldness from the other side. Neville Chamberlain once returned with a piece of paper saying, "Peace for our time." He thought he had delayed war through concession, but to Hitler, every concession was not a signal of peace. It was a signal of range. People in ordinary life read you the same way. Not everyone is evil, but everyone learns from your reactions. If you want to hold your position, you must cut the reflex to sign. No need to be loud, no need to argue, no need to explode like a man who has been deeply insulted. Just one cold, clean sentence. "Next time, ask me first. I am not comfortable with this, because I was not asked. I do not agree with this do first, ask later approach. I do not accept this becoming a precedent. One sentence is enough. You do not need to explain." Further, explanation is another kind of leak. The more you explain, the more you place yourself in the position of asking permission to have boundaries, and boundaries are not something that need permission in order to exist. A strong person does not need to prove that he has the right to set boundaries. He simply stands still inside them. And you will notice something. People will push. They will get irritated. They will make you feel like you are too much. They will change their tone. They will invoke feelings. They will bring up old favors. They will say, "What kind of adult gets hung up on little things like this?" Do not react. Just stand still. If you do not move, they will learn your new limit without you ever needing to read it aloud. Number 2. Can I be honest with you? Asking permission to strike. The second question is more subtle because it wears moral clothing. Who would reject honesty? Who would say, "Don't be honest"? Who wants to be seen as so fragile that he cannot handle feedback? So you open the door, and the moment you open it, you lose the right to resist. Can I be honest with you? Let me be real with you. Don't be offended, but don't get mad. I'm just being direct. It sounds like respect, but often it is a request for immunity. The person asking knows that what they are about to say will not feel like care. It will not feel constructive. It will not feel like feedback meant to make you stronger. It will be a planted doubt, a jab, a small cut just deep enough to knock you off balance, make you question yourself, or cost you your initiative. And they do not want to pay the price for that strike. They want to strike you under the banner of, "I'm just being honest." This is a frame game. When you agree in advance, you help them build the frame. They become the brave one telling the truth, and you become the fragile one if you cannot handle it. You get locked into the role. You are not allowed to be irritated. You are not allowed to push back. You are not allowed to say, "That is just your opinion." You are not allowed to protect your own value because they have already turned an opinion into truth with one sentence of permission seeking. Machiavelli understood that the most dangerous blow is the one wrapped inside what is right. When the knife wears moral clothing, the one being stabbed feels guilty for bleeding. In old courts, the most dangerous takedowns did not come from enemies beyond the border. They came from courtiers speaking in the voice of candor. Not everyone who speaks bluntly is loyal. Many use the appearance of bluntness to chip away at someone else's credibility in front of the king. They do not want to correct you. They want to plant a seed of doubt about you. The same thing happens today. A co-worker says, "Let me be honest. Your leadership style makes people uncomfortable." It sounds like feedback, but very often it is only a vague statement. No data, no path for improvement, just enough to shake your balance. A family member says, "I'm just being honest. You've become so ungrateful lately." No example, no concrete fact, just a moral label thrown at you. A lover says, "I'm just being honest. You're actually not as interesting as you think you are." It sounds sincere. In reality, it is hurt delivered under the armor of, "I'm just telling the truth." A weak manager often does not define work standards clearly. He simply waits for a mistake, then calls it straightforward feedback. That is not leadership. That is using ambiguity to keep power. Real truth does not need staging. It does not need an opening line to request immunity. A person who truly wants to help you will speak specifically, clearly, with facts, with a purpose. A person who wants to unsettle you will speak in concepts, in labels, in feelings, then call it truth. Do not confuse truth with judgment. Do not confuse feedback with emotional dumping. Do not confuse bluntness with lack of discipline. If you want to escape, do not say, "Of course." Break the frame before the content lands. Depends. Are you saying it to help or to unload? You can say it, but I am not promising to receive it. If it is specific feedback, speak. If it is judgment, stop. State the facts clearly. Do not label. If you want to build, I'll listen. If you want to stab and call it truth, don't bother. A person who is worth anything will speak plainly without needing a permission script. The one asking permission is often asking because he knows he is about to cross a line. A strong man does not fear the truth, but he also does not let anyone use the word honest to buy the right to wound him. Remember this: the weak love comfort, the naive love everything delivered with a smile, but the mature love clarity. Clarity is not always soft, but it is clean, and many statements called honesty are not clean at all. They have only been washed in beautiful language. Number 3. If you were me, what would you do? Shifting responsibility. This is the sweetest trap, because it strikes at a man's instinct to be useful, to be wise, to be trusted, to feel like the one who sees farther than the rest. Someone comes to you, tells you the problem, then looks at you as if you are the final court. If you were me, what would you do? You feel important, you feel respected, you feel effective, you step into the role of advisor, you want to give a good answer, you want to help, and at that exact moment, you place your fingerprint on someone else's life. If they follow your advice and succeed, they take the credit. If they follow your advice and fail, they place the blame on you. You told me to do that. You're the one who advised me. I listened to you back then. That's why this happened. If it weren't for your advice, my life would be different. That is how people divide responsibility for a decision. They keep the glory and push the risk onto you. Sometimes the person asking is not confused at all. They already wanted to do it. They just needed a name attached to it, so if it collapses, they have somewhere to dump it, someone to sign for them, someone to absorb the psychological bullets. A fall guy. In political history, how many weak kings pushed blame onto advisors? How many bad decisions were retold, as though the king had simply been misled? The person holding power but refusing consequence always needs a shadow to hide behind. In Rome, when governance failed, those at the center of power often blamed advisors, generals, or the architects of the plan. Glory was kept at the center. Mistakes were pushed to the edge. In modern life, this game is even more common, because people are very skilled at playing the victim of advice. A friend asks whether he should quit his job. You answer from your own point of view. 3 months later, he regrets it and tells others that you pushed him into a reckless decision. Someone asks whether they should break up. You analyze it. Then they get back together, and now you are the one who tried to destroy their relationship. A relative asks whether they should invest in something. You give a personal opinion. When the money is lost, their own judgment mysteriously disappears from the record. Only your words remain. Machiavelli understood one cold principle: whoever makes the decision must pay the price for the decision. If you sign for them, you pay for them. Do you want to help others? Then help them think. Do not help them escape responsibility. A truly mature person does not look for someone to decide in his place. He looks for perspective that helps him see the price he is about to pay. So do not give the answer. Give questions. Which direction are you already leaning toward? What are you most afraid of? If you choose A, what is the cost? If you choose B, what is the cost? What do you really want? I can help you see more clearly, but the decision is yours. Don't borrow my head so you can avoid carrying your own heart. A strong person does not turn his intelligence into a free service for people who want to borrow your brain, so they borrow not. Do not have to use their own. The difference between an intelligent person and a wise one is not only what he knows, it is that he knows what he should absolutely never carry for someone else. You can give someone light, but do not walk into the fire for them, because some people are not looking for advice. They are looking for a psychological accomplice. They want it so that when everything falls apart, they do not have to stand alone in front of the mirror. Do not take that role. Number 4. Who told you that? Hunting the source, changing the subject. You confront someone. You have facts. You have reason. You have enough pieces to ask the question. And they do not answer the content. They ask, who told you that? Who told you that? Where did you hear that? Who's talking behind my back? 4 words. And if you answer, you have done 2 foolish things at once. 1. You betray the person who gave you the information. 2. You help the person in front of you identify the target they need to eliminate. From that second on, they will not focus on correcting the wrongdoing. They will focus on silencing the one who spoke. They will destroy credibility, cut contact, create fear, change the story, find the weakest link in the chain, and crush it. So next time, you will have no source at all. You become a person it is not safe to tell the truth to. And in power, losing your sources means losing your eyes. Machiavelli understood the value of the messenger. Messengers are rare. The guilty almost always want to eliminate the messenger more than correct their own behavior, because correcting behavior means changing themselves. Eliminating the source is much easier. In courts, many tyrants did not fear the truth itself. They feared the person brave enough to bring the truth to the right ears. That is why history is full of people purged not because they lied, but because they told the truth. The same thing happens in modern organizations. An employee tells the boss that a process is broken. Instead of fixing the process, a bad manager asks, "Who else has been talking about this?" Meaning the real goal is not correction. The real goal is to identify the leak. A person finds out he has been sabotaged inside a group. When he confronts the other person, that person does not speak about what he did. He only becomes urgent about finding out who told. That alone is evidence. A partner is questioned about murky finances. Instead of explaining the numbers, he flares up over, "Who told you these things?" When the source matters more than the truth, you are standing in front of someone who does not want transparency. He only wants control over the movement of information. When a person is confronted about wrongdoing and his first response is to hunt the source, he has already confessed his strategic nature. He does not operate by truth, he operates by control of the narrative. Do not let the confrontation be dragged away from the subject. Do not enter the game of explain how I found out. Hold the frame. It does not matter how I know. What matters is whether it is true. We are talking about the behavior, not the source. If there is no problem, you do not need to know the source. Answer the content. Do not change the subject. Silence in the right place carries more weight than a speech. A strong person does not help the other side. Hunt the source. He forces the other side to face the content. This is where many people fail. They think kindness means complete honesty. No, honesty does not mean surrendering every strategic advantage to someone who can use it to harm others. There is a difference between transparency and naivety. Do not confuse them. 4 questions. 4 ways to extract something from you. Consent, psychological protection, responsibility, and the network of information. But all of those traps require one condition. You must be willing to believe before you verify. And that is the 5th question. This is the root. This is the central nerve. This is the question that does not directly take information, but takes something more dangerous. The right to delay belief. Number 5. Do you trust me? The blank check. This is the root question, not because it takes information, but because it takes away the right to doubt. It kills the pause. When someone looks at you and says, "Do you trust me?" You trust me, right? You don't trust me? After everything, You still doubt me? If you love me, then you have to trust me. If you answer yes, you have just tied your own hands. From that point on, every time you ask a question, they will use your own words against you. But you trust me. You said you trusted me. Then why are you doubting me? Then why are you asking so many questions? If you trust me, why check? If you love me, don't interrogate me. If we're a team, don't be guarded. You are pushed into the position of a hypocrite if you verify, and that is the point. A manipulator does not need you to truly trust. He needs you to declare trust, so you cannot take it back without being painted as the bad one. Real trust does not need vows. Real trust is built through repeated behavior over time, through consistency, through the ability to withstand verification without exploding. Through speech and action, not fighting each other, the person worthy of trust does not ask for it. He lives in such a way that it appears on its own. That is why the question, "Do you trust me?" is often asked by the person who needs words because his behavior is not enough. He needs immunity. He needs a shield. He needs you to open the gate because he cannot break the gate. The fox does not kick the door down. The fox asks you to open it yourself. In history, every authoritarian regime has survived by the same old formula. Demand loyalty first, then treat verification as betrayal. Once the public is taught that asking questions is morally wrong, power no longer needs to be right. It only needs to be believed. In ordinary life, smaller versions of this happen every day. A business partner gets murky with the numbers, then says, "You don't trust me?" The goal is to turn a financial question into a matter of loyalty. A lover shows suspicious signs, then redirects it into, "If you still need to check, that means you never really trusted me." The goal is to turn your need for transparency into your moral failure. A friend who constantly breaks promises says, "When you become cautious, after all these years, you still doubt me?" He does not correct the behavior. He demands that you dismantle your defense mechanism. A weak leader often says to the team, "I need everyone to trust me." But a good leader does not beg for trust through emotion. He creates it through competence, clarity, and consistency. When someone is impatient for you to declare trust, look closely. What they may need is not connection. It is a waiver from inspection. That is what makes it dangerous. Machiavelli wrote, "The deceiver will always find someone willing to let himself be deceived." This question is that moment of permission. So, how do you answer it? You do not say yes. You also do not say no. You break the binary trap. You return it to behavior. I trust what people do. I observe behavior. Trust is built over time. Actions answer that question. A trustworthy person does not fear transparency. I do not operate by slogans. I look at consistency. Then stop. Do not explain. Do not argue. Do not defend yourself for being cautious. Caution is not a crime. You will see their reaction. A trustworthy person will respect it. The person who needs a blank check will pressure you to say yes. They will get angry. They will become hurt in a way that follows the script perfectly. They will create an atmosphere as though you are doing something cold, heartless, meaningless. But in that pressure, you see the real reason. They need immunity before they do the next thing. And this goes even deeper. The immature always want to be trusted before they have proven themselves. The mature understand that trust is something behavior must be strong, enough to carry. You do not owe anyone a blank check, not a business partner, not a friend, not a lover, not a co-worker, not a relative. Emotion is not a reason to abandon verification. Loyalty is not a reason to stop observing. Kindness is not a reason to abandon structure. Now look back. You don't mind, do you? is the legalization of a done deal. Can I be honest with you? Is asking permission to attack. If you were me, what would you do? Is shifting responsibility. Who told you that? Is eliminating the source. Do you trust me? Is the blank check that makes all the others possible. But the problem is not only these 5 questions. The problem is the psychological structure that makes you answer them too easily. You are afraid of losing. Likability. You are afraid of being called difficult. You are afraid of becoming the cold one. You are afraid of breaking the peace. You are afraid of disappointing people. You are afraid of being seen as suspicious. You are afraid of no longer being a good person. And because you fear those small social costs, you pay enormous power costs. This is the paradox. People do not always use force to defeat you. Many times, they only need you to care too much about keeping a beautiful image. The person who cannot endure being slightly misunderstood will be controlled a great deal. Machiavelli does not teach you to become paranoid. He also does not teach you to turn every relationship into a battlefield. He only forces you to look straight. In the human world, power is not lost randomly. It leaks out at the points you think are insignificant. One unnecessary answer, one agreement just to end the tension, one explanation just to be understood, one time carrying responsibility for someone else. One time surrendering the source, one oath of trust while the facts are still unclear. All of it is small, until it accumulates and becomes a character. A person who opens too easily, a person who retreats too easily, a person too easy to trap. Through morality, emotion, social pressure. Real strength does not always lie in the perfect answer. Many times, it lies in the right not to answer immediately, in the ability not to be pulled into someone else's rhythm, in preserving a gap between stimulus and response. Just one beat. In that beat, you ask one cold question. What is this question trying to take from me? Is it trying to take consent? Is it trying to take guilt? Is it trying to take data? Is it trying to take responsibility? Is it trying to take the source? Or is it trying to take away my right to doubt? If it wants to take power, do not give it. Not through anger, through silence, and one short sentence. You do not need to learn hundreds of comeback lines. You only need to learn not to be rushed. Slow down one beat, and you will see the nature of it. Move one beat too fast, and you will sign again. Do not announce that you have changed. Do not write a status post. Do not tell the world that from now on you will live differently. Do not turn clarity into a personal brand. Just change your rhythm. Just seal one leak, then seal the next one, then the one after that. Next time someone asks, after acting first, you do not swallow it. Next time someone asks permission to judge you, make them state the purpose clearly. Next time someone wants you to decide for them, return the decision to its owner. Next time someone hunts the source, hold the frame. Next time someone demands trust through words, return them to behavior. That is how it goes, point by point, until you can feel that your energy stays with you, your time stays with you, your self-respect stays with you, your right to slow down stays with you. Your ability to observe without being numbed by false morality stays with you. And one day, people will say, "You're different lately. You're harder to read now. You're not as easy as before. You've become colder. You've changed." Do not be too quick to take offense at those words. Many times, what they are calling cold is simply the first time you have structure. What they are calling difficult is simply the first time you are no longer open for free. What they are calling different is simply because they can no longer use the old version of you. That is when you understand where power begins. Not in what you add, but in what you cut. Cut the reflex to explain. Cut the need to be seen as pleasant. Cut the habit of taking blame for others. Cut gullibility disguised as kindness. Cut the surrender of your right to doubt in exchange for a few quiet minutes. Because peace purchased by betraying your own. Boundaries is not peace, it is debt. And then you will pay interest in exhaustion, resentment, self-contempt, and the constant feeling that someone is always encroaching on you. Remember this final thing. The strong person is not the one with the best answer. The strong person is the one who does not let every question earn the right to enter him. Some doors should only open after time. Some doors open only to consistent behavior. Some doors do not open anymore. And from the moment you understand that, your life begins to feel heavier. Not louder, not more dramatic, just heavier, more solid, quieter, and harder to use, in silence.